Not brave enough to say his name, or did I even know his name? From the moment he came, this body no longer feels the same. Some of the scars have disappeared, but memories never disappear. At first, it was comforting to have him around me, until he tiptoed into my room one night. He covered my mouth and told me not to scream. Before my legs began to shake, he had shaken off every clothing. He tightly pulled my legs apart, and I felt something pierce with pain so deadly. And I know that you may be asking, did I report? Or why didn't I report? Well, I was only 5. He gave me sweets. It was meant to be a secret. Didn't even know it was wrong. He was my boyfriend. Who would believe me? He was my father. I didn't want to break my mother. He was my brother. How could I screw up his life and put him behind bars? He had raped 2 other girls, and nothing was done. What would make me different? I was an orphan. They took me in wood. They believed me, and where would I go if they kicked me out? All he did was touch me. It wasn't that bad, right? It wasn't that bad, right? I was the one who went to his place. You see, I was the one who went to his place, and I shouldn't have gone there. And I shouldn't have dressed the way I did. And I know that it was my fault. Yes, it was my fault, so I bit myself 1,000 times, hoping I wake up from this nightmare. Hoping I wake up from this nightmare. Will you wake me up from this nightmare? I wanna scream the pain away, hoping that the memories fade away. For I am tired of carrying this secret, yet I avoid to speak of it because I don't want to be defined by his actions, described as the girl who he. You know what? Never mind. But how can I find strength in this weakness? How do I rise from such depression? How do I accept what life has brought and all that it means? What it all means? What it all means to accept that I am broken, to accept that I am afraid it will happen again. But how dare you find satisfaction in causing so much pain? Do you remember? Do you remember the moment you had total powers and absolute control over me? Do you remember that you threatened to come back, push yourself through me again, and kill me if I reported? Why? Me. Why? Me. What makes you do this to people? Do you know that I now question good people? Some days, I cannot face my image in the mirror. My reflection is blared by self-blame, pain, and disgust. As every cell of my body struggles to exist, I love to help the vulnerable and the weak, but it hurts that I could not help myself when I was vulnerable and weak. I tried to stop the rewinding and pray that you stopped yourself from hurting people this way. I am your daughter, your stepdaughter, your sister, your friend, your niece, your cousin, or even your stranger. And even though your pride is as high as a necktie, your selfishness deeper than the seas, I pray that you can see that no woman deserves to be treated this way. And don't you lay your bloody hands on another. I wish I could send you to Mars, and I hope that you hear this behind bars and know that no one deserves this physical and psychological scars. This is not another rape poem. This is a voice for the voiceless, who scream now because they could not scream then. Or if they did, they were not heard. If they were heard, they were ignored, or couldn't prove it happened. So with confusion, we pick up ourselves like broken clay pots, hoping that the cracks don't show. So to every victim, know that you need to open up and seek help. Help others feel understood as we stand up and reclaim the power stripped from us, hoping the law refreshes us. Teach our little girls to open up about such violation. Teach our boys to protect and respect every girl or woman. Our men and boys should speak too. I'm a guy, she's a girl. threaten me, who's gonna believe them? I'm a man. That will be taken as weakness. How could a woman manipulate, control, and overpower me? The rape of men is heavily stigmatized. An underrated weapon of war, 1 in 10 raped males report. As many as 150 million girls are subject to sexual violence each year. Our experience is more than a statistic. This should command your instincts to embrace the socially awkward conversation and decide to build this nation, because together we can stop gender-based violence.